even kill these goblins, just put them behind bars. They need to be stopped. All of them, every single one of them. Get the cuffs, get the tasers, we'll take them to court and everything, and then they'll either be life in prison or the death penalty. We're gonna go through the whole judicial system just for this species alone. Just a quick disclaimer, this video is obviously all fun and jokes, whatever, but there is a somewhat sensitive topic in the middle of it. So I mean, I'm just giving that warning for people who know what Goblin Slayer episode 1 is about. I just had to put that in there. I felt like that was the right thing to do. So I was thinking about what video to do, and I was like, you know what? Let me just watch Goblin Slayer episode 1. I remember back in high school, I had a couple of friends talking about Goblin Slayer, how ridiculous first episode was, this and that, and I see memes about it to this day. I've never even seen the show. I don't know what it's about. I'm assuming slaying goblins. That's just my assumption, but I really didn't know what I was expecting coming into this. I see these 4 people grouping up. Blonde girl's obviously learning. She's like a mage, she's a priestess, whatever. She's learning. I guess she's about to go slay some goblins. We got Buddy pulling up to her with 2 of his girls. I guess he's hitting both. I don't know what he's doing. But we got red hair girl here who I was liking. I was digging her. I was like, okay, she's cool. She's got the glasses. She's got the shit. I liked her. And then we had the other girl who's like, she was cool. She was just there. But they're going to pull up on the goblins in the cave, and then, you know, the dude leading the pack, he's talking about some shit like, oh, you guys don't worry, I got you protected. What are they gonna do to us? They're just children. And you already know there's always that dumbass that says some shit like this and it completely turns south and their words are used against them and then they're dead. So I already know as soon as he says that, he's already dead. So I was already saying sayonara to his character. I don't know how they let this happen, but the blonde girl and the red haired girl somehow get separated from the pack. So the guy and the girl must have walked forward about a mile at least, because I don't know how they got themselves in a position where they can't even see the light of their flame anymore. So then they start talking about how there's something following them. They hear something. These little vermins pull up on them. These little goblins. I'll be damned if I let these dudes pull up on me. Okay, so there's about 4 or 5 of them, and then Flame Girl, she starts going a little crazy with her flame magic, getting confident because she burnt one to a crisp, barbecue and shit, and she's getting excited. I would be too. But then somehow they start jumping her out of nowhere, even though there's only 3 of them. Now granted, I understand, like, this is like one of the girls is damn near like 12 years old, and then this other girl, obviously they aren't the strongest physically, I get it, but these goblins, there's some they're ridiculous. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how they're getting the strength. What happened just now shouldn't have happened, and I'm sitting here like, damn, my favorite character is dead. That's unfortunate. I was upset with this, but I did not expect what was about to come though. I really didn't. I thought, okay, she's dead. Another 2 of them die, so they get saved somehow, assuming the blonde-haired girl because she's clearly the main character. Buddy with the sword starts going crazy. I don't know how he's folding this bad. I understand they're getting jumped by these mini creatures, but I mean, you're acting like these goblins are moving fast, sneak attacking you. I assure you, if I'm going up against these goblins, I don't even need a sword. We are boxing, hand-to-hand combat, and I'm taking them all down. But you see at this little moment right here, he's overwhelmed, and I get it. There's about 5 of them on him. He gets jumped. Okay, so they're just flattening him out. It's he's done, but I expected this. I expected this at this point. I don't know what fire ignited in this one girl though, but she started throwing hands with them like she was Vi from Arcane. Straight fist and feet. And she was taking about 3 or 4 of them out with ease. And I was like, okay, Sakura, stop it. You better stop that shit right now. China. Somehow out of nowhere, she throws a roundhouse kick and gets caught up by the goblin dad. I guess the dad of the goblins. I don't know where he came from. I would have liked to know if his presence was there in the first place because I didn't see him initially. And he catches that shit, twists her ankle, and then she's out for the count. And I've had my ankle twisted many a times, and I already knew that this was a problem. Incapacitates her, slams her against the wall. I did not expect it to go in the manner that it did. I did not expect them to act as heinously as they did. I guess these goblins are cut from a different type of cloth because they're starting to strip her naked, bare ass naked. I didn't know what these goblins were really on. I really didn't, and I didn't expect it to be this. Like, I knew they were on some shit, you know, jumping people. Like, we don't even give people the respect of a 1-on-1, even a 2-on-1. I knew we were already jumping, so we're already phonies in that, right? But I didn't know we were about to strip females down and start assaulting them like this. This is, when people were like, oh, this episode's gonna be wild. This is gonna be a wild episode. Like, you gotta watch this shit. Why would I want to watch this shit? She's getting violated in front of my very eyes, and I'm getting annoyed. Who raised these goblins to be on this shit? And that's something that I don't appreciate. I don't know where that came from. That shit caught me. So I'm sitting here, mouth open in shock. I'm disgusted. This dude's sitting out here, tongue out. He is hungry, salivating for this shit. It changed the course of the show so much, and I really didn't know how to feel internally. Like, am I enjoying the show, or am I just disgusted with the show? Because in terms of like action and everything that's going on, I'm like, okay, this shit's popping off a little bit. I'm morally like sound side of me, I'm like, someone help. Where, like, police? Someone, like, don't even kill these goblins. Just put them behind bars. They need to be stopped. All of them. Every single one of them. Get the cuffs, get the tasers. We'll take them to court and everything. And then they'll either be life in prison or the death penalty. We're gonna go through the whole judicial system just for this species alone. I'm like, okay, this girl actually just died via penetration. That's crazy. That's the craziest thought to me. But then she ends up surviving. So now she has to live with this trauma? Literally nightmares every night about how some goblins took advantage of her. What happened to her is the equivalent of when I go into an Overwatch game, or any competitive game at that matter. So this show already, to me, I'm sitting here mouth wide open like I'm waiting for something to be inserted. I knew the shit was explicit, right? I've heard stories and I've heard people talking about how crazy this episode is for a first episode, but I didn't think it was gonna get this wild. And this is only 20 minutes ago. I'm recording this video right after I just watched this episode. So then the blonde hair girl's trying to escape with the other girl who just got stabbed in the stomach. My personal favorite of the bunch. Now the goblins are starting to get their clammy hands on her. This is where the shit crossed the line for me. She already got beat up by the goblins, so they really didn't need to come back for round 2. I'm sitting here pleading. I'm like, someone please help her, please. I'm begging on my knees. We got this girl sitting here peeing, and this goblin smelled her urine, and I deadass think he was about to do some vile shit to her. So these goblins need to be dealt with by someone, and I'm seeing Guts pull up in the distance with his little torch like he's in Elden Ring. He's already got maxed armor. He's about level 99 at this point, and he's one-shotting these goblins. But my thing is, if he's doing this with ease, why couldn't the other guy do that? I guess he was just less coordinated. I don't know, but I'm glad to see him pull up. And I'm like, okay, what's his name gonna be? You know, how's he gonna present himself to this girl? Like, he's gonna have some badass name, whatever. I've never seen such a blatant title drop in my life. And not only was it a title drop, this nigga's name. He said, what's up, Shotty? I'm Goblin Slayer. Who are you? If you're gonna introduce yourself to me and save the day, you better tell me a different name, because you aren't gonna tell me that you're Goblin Slayer and 3 of my friends just got slayed by goblins themselves. Where were you then? But at this point, I'm thinking my girl's gonna be saved. My red-haired wizard friend, Goblin Slayer, said no. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna stab her and kill her. And while I disagree, she did get poisoned. She's suffering. If they were to save her, she would probably suffer some sort of problem. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, let her go out this way rather than getting completely violated by these goblins. I wouldn't be able to stand for that one. I'm glad Mr. Goblin Slayer put her out of her misery, because I would have been upset if she had to experience what that other girl experienced. So Goblin Slayer now is obviously eliminating all the goblins, and then they're doing this, whatever, running away in the cave. He sets up this little trap, and then this girl, I understand you're not athletic, but this string is about 2 inches in the air. I can't believe she had the audacity to do some shit while jumping over, being like, I promise you could have stepped over. You didn't even have to jump. I don't know how you tripped yourself. And now you're on the floor, bloody and all. Goblin Slayer is carrying you to victory right now with his cold ass, pouring gasoline on the hobgoblin, throwing his ass to the other goblins, lighting them on fire. He's an animal, okay? This is literally light work for him. He is not even breaking a sweat. I gotta give him credit where credit is due. Especially when he pulled up on the little goblin house and you saw the newborns. If you see what these goblins are capable of, you better get that UAV. And that's horrible of me to say. I cannot believe it. So then obviously these two pair up, and then now that's the end of the episode, and that was Goblin Slayer episode 1. Am I hooked on this show off of the first episode? I'm definitely interested in how they're going to handle this rise in assault cases, because you think about it, right? Obviously you're stepping into their domain. If you're a group of people and you're walking into this goblin cave, you honestly have to expect to be attacked, probably killed by these goblins. But the fact that they took the time out of their day to be like, oh, there's a woman, we're going to kill this guy, and then we're going to violate this woman and assault her like this, I think that's a little just over dramatic. Like, you're doing too much at that point, and someone needs to handle you. And I feel like Goblin Slayer and Blonde Girl, I feel like they're the perfect team to do that. You know, she's got heals on deck. She has like 3, she can only use like 3 spells. She's got to use more than that. But Goblin Slayer can really give them a piece of their medicine. Is this what the show is only going to be about? I don't know. I haven't watched it. I would say it's a good starter episode, and you're definitely thrown off guard. I did not expect any of that. I'm honestly disgusted. That really hurt me. I don't remember the last time I was like visibly opening my mouth in disgust at an episode, and that's exactly what was going on. But I would say comment some more first episodes that you feel like would be a good, not even good, I don't even care. If it's some wicked shit, you could comment it, right? I will watch it and I will talk about it, whether that shit hooked me or if I just took the bait and I left. But yeah, without further ado, subscribe to the channel, and if you like the video, I appreciate all that. And then I guess drop some comments in the video about the episode thing. And I mean, yeah, that's really it. Goblin Slayer is it's a doozy. Episode 1 that definitely took me on a roller coaster of emotions, for sure.